A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where Lyft comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. Lyft. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at Lyft have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to Lyft. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with Lyft was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community.
Hello, and welcome to Living Well in Montana, a program provided to you by LIFT, which stands for Living Independently for Today and Tomorrow. At LIFT, we promote advocacy for people with disabilities. And today, I'm pleased to be here with my teammate, Anya Pulis. We are both nutritional health coaches at LIFT and starting a brand new health and wellness program through LIFT. So, Anya, do you mind introducing yourself and explaining a little bit about the event that you've planned so diligently?
Yeah, of course. So at LIFT, we've been having a lot of health and wellness programs. We're hoping to have a lot in the future. The main one that we are planning right now is Fiesta for Fighters. So I am a certified personal trainer with background in kinesiology. So we are having this event in October for breast cancer awareness. And so since that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we've invited a lot of exhibitors and local support groups, treatment options to come and educate about breast cancer. The Fiesta part that we are having is some Latin-based dance classes. And so we're offering both a seated and a standing option for that. So we're at 5 p.m. we're going to have a seated dance class from 5 to 5:30. And from 6 to 6:30, we're going to have a standing dance class that would be a little bit higher intensity. Of course, when I say both of these, they're both tailored to be towards people who are needing extra support in auditory and visual specs. So we are having 2 coaches that are able to be on the floor, really walk through the dance class and how you can move your body. And so that way people, with mental disabilities or, learning capabilities can be able to know what's coming next, that they're able to learn the choreography and be able to take it with them. So it's really nice to provide not only just the support groups, the treatment options, but also a big thing that we're really going for at LIFT this year is going with those health and wellness options, the exercise classes that get people moving that wouldn't otherwise move. And having that option is amazing, especially with, Met Transit. They put a bus stop right outside of our LIFT building there on Crawford and 13th. And so a lot of this is alleviating a big boundary for people that want to come to those dance classes or group exercise classes that we're already holding. So that way they can come and enjoy it as well.
Exactly. So it sounds like people can kind of drop in and out as they want to?
So that's why we wanted to have 2 different classes, and we were wanting to have more events like this in the future. So it's tailored to a demographic that may, if you don't like dancing, that's totally fine. If you want to show up and dance, the seated, you can come for as long as you want, but the classes do start promptly at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. for those 2 different flavors. If you need it to do it in a wheelchair, or if you're just needing low intensity exercise, that's why we wanted to create a seated dance class for people that are needing the extra support and they feel uncomfortable on their feet. Because a lot of the times when I say, oh, we're having a dance class, you want to come join in, they're like, oh, I got 2 left feet. And that's fine. You can show up, you don't have to use your feet. You can just do the arm motions. But I don't want to deter away from the standing either. Standing is still going to be, that inclusive auditory visual cues, but it allows you to be a little bit higher intensity exercise for those that are needing to expel that energy, to be in a safe environment to learn how to exercise, or if that's something you're not used to, it's nice to be guided through that. So really, you can pick your flavor, you can come, you can even just come learn from the exhibitors. We also have a guest speaker that is a breast cancer survivor, and that she holds a support group for her friends that have fought the fight and are wanting to share their stories with each other and just have that general support.
Right. Sounds like you've got some people that are really passionate about the subject.
Yes, we
That
have a
would be
lot
good.
of employees that are cancer survivors. We have a lot of community members and consumers that are cancer survivors. And so we understand that, sometimes it's hard to get up and move your body. Some days you don't want to.
Right.
And so that's why it's also nice to have classes that are a little bit more inclusive, because you can tone it down if you need to. You can slow it down. You can do what you need to, because some days are better than others, and everyone's at a different phase in treatment. And so, but it is sometimes nice because there's a lot of resources in Billings that people don't know about. And that's what LIFT is all about, is showing people the resources that we have readily available. And so it's nice to really work with our community partners, spread awareness, and get people the support that they need in all of their walk of life.
Exactly. Excellent. Well, and I love the passion that you have into it. And I'm curious, just what motivated you to pursue this? I know it's been a lot of work.
Oh, yes. So dance has been a huge thing throughout my life. Growing up, I really was not good at exercise. I wasn't fit. I had accepted that I would never be athletic. That wasn't, I was a book nerd, so that wasn't going to be something for me. I was forced into sports, and so I was like, I'm not good at this, I never will be. And I never found a passion for anything until me and my sister got really into that video game, Just Dance. And so, yes. And so we got really excited by learning the movements, and we would play games of who can get the highest score, who would guess the movements next. And so I was like, okay, at the time I had never thought, oh, that's a form of exercise. So, until I got into high school and I got a little bit more into competitive powerlifting, I finally found some niches that I liked that made me love fitness, and I hope everybody can find that throughout their lives. But my senior year of high school, I had a teacher that came to me and said, okay, I was really struggling finding a project of, what do I want to do in my life? We had to do a project to show at the end of the year of like something we accomplished. And so she's like, well, have you, you like dancing. I've seen you at my, Zumba classes. Have you ever thought about becoming a Zumba instructor? And at the time I was like, oh, that's so interesting. I can't see myself being the instructor. I've always been the dancer. I follow people. And so when I actually sat down to do that certification to learn more about Latin dancing, I was like, I've built that confidence in myself of I can be a leader. It was a huge transformation for me to go from I'm never going to be athletic or amount to anything exercise-wise in my life to learning why it's so important to move your body and becoming an advocate for healing through movement. And so that was really what propelled my group exercise journey, was getting certified in Zumba, and then, being able to teach a plethora of different classes and just being an all-around health and wellness educator. And so I'm very passionate about dance because there's many people like me that share that same story of, okay, I'm not really good at lifting weights, or I'm not good at, all of these other things. Dance is low commitment. There's, low equipment that you have to use. It's very people friendly, and it's universal. People can feel the movement. It's huge community building. And so people are able to walk in and be able to participate no matter where they're at. And that was huge for me. I loved it.
Excellent. Yes. And as somebody that loves Latin American music, it just makes you want to move. So.
Yes, you hear that music and you're like, I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
And I think another thing too is I saw the need. Once we came into LIFT, I feel like I didn't understand a lot of disability work and what it takes to be in that kind of work until, we have employees that also struggle with those things, and they, came to us and they said, what if you guys tried to do something a little bit more inclusive, especially with dance classes? Because it can be hard, it can be intimidating of not knowing what comes next and having to guess. And being scared that you don't look good. But that's not what that's about. With the more inclusive stuff, you know, we're making it easier for people to follow along to, but you don't have to. You can just show up and just move your body the way it wants to.
Excellent. Yes. I love that you're very compassionate too. You know the place that these people are coming from.
Exactly. I know it can be hard. It can be hard to hop into health coaching or exercise programs, because it can be daunting of, you know, a lot of us have been educated on the benefits of exercise and how necessary it is in your life.
Right.
But it's hard to say, where do I start? You know, if I have these amount of issues and I have way different goals than the person sitting next to me, I can't just do what they're doing. Where do I start? And so that's really a big part of what we do at Lift with our health coaching is we can say on the individual level, okay, Eileen, you want to do and get better at XYZ. Here's a good place you can start. Do you think that would work for you? Or do you think that's too daunting? Do we need to take a step back and make a different plan? So it's nice because our independent living specialists do very similar things, but with different resources in town of, like, you know, getting food, clothing, housing, or like equipment, like mobility equipment. So now we're taking that a step further of just living life to, okay, how can you do this to better your health? So that way you have a higher quality of life, that you can enjoy life a little bit better, but you're not scared to start, because that's the hardest part, is getting started and keeping that momentum going.
Wow, I'm ready to jump in. So are you going to be the main instructor?
I
at the
will,
event?
yes. So I will be the main instructor. We have another gal named Natalie at Lift that is also a dance instructor that we will have on the floor for those that do have auditory or visual impairments, so they can see a little bit better what we're doing. So that's another huge thing. I get it. When you're in a dance class, it can be hard to see the person up at front dancing.
Right.
So that removes a big barrier.
Yes. And as I understand, there's possibly an online version
Yes.
of this? Or how does
So
that-
we have a lot going on at Lift. We are hoping to have weekly videos posted. So if you are wanting to learn our songs before you show up to this event, feel free to. It's on our app and on our website. We do take a lot of pride in our app, as we are like the most advanced app in the country, I believe, for centers of independent living. So we have a video section that we're hoping to post, like our YouTube video choreography on there. If you're wanting to tune in at any point and watch those videos, and you don't have to come to the event if you still want to take part in that. So we're hoping to have all of our group exercise classes on the app for people to tune into.
Wow, excellent. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and I know we're kind of getting to the end of our time, but I also know that we'll be at Relay for Life. Can you talk a little bit more about
Yes,
that?
we will. So Andrea with the American Cancer Society invited Lift to be a vendor at the Relay for Life. That's coming up next weekend, or September 14th, I believe. And so that one, it's Lift's mission to really support our community partners and show up for them as they show up for us. So we will be vendors at their Relay for Life events, and we're super excited for that. Maybe next year we can get a whole team going and get some sponsors.
Yes. Well, and in just the last few minutes, should we highlight some of the programs that we are offering at Lift?
Yeah, so on top of all the events that we have our DPP program, Diabetes Prevention Program, that's going to be starting later this fall. As we get people calling us and saying, hey, I really need support. I've been recently diagnosed, or I have prediabetes. What do I do? We will be launching that class through the Department of Health. And then we also have that one-on-one health coaching I kind of mentioned earlier. We have our exercise classes, which is every Monday. We're going to have at 9 a.m. we have a walking and rolling group that's already started. So if anybody wants to show up, they need a safe space to really walk and get that exercise. They can feel free to. And then Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Eileen teaches Tai Chi.
Tai Chi, that's right. And again, talking about that good movement. It's relaxing, kind of meditative to calm our bodies, calm our minds. So 9 o'clock is a great time to jump in on that.
Yeah,
So.
and we're hoping to have more in the future as well.
Excellent. All right, any little motivating tips or that you would recommend for people to get ready for your event?
Ooh, wear pink.
Wear
All
pink,
of the pink.
okay.
It's going to be a complete pink out. Bring your friends, bring your family. If you know friends or family that are fighting the fight, they need support, or you want to learn for yourself how you can support someone in that case, because that's obviously something that the population that's never dealt with that a lot of times we don't feel equipped to help or do anything with. So invite people, wear your pink, and come support.
Right. I love that supporting other people. So those resources will be available also,
Yeah.
it sounds like. Excellent. All right. Well, it sounds like a wonderful time and a lot of fun to be had at this
We're
event.
excited.
Yes. All right. Well, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing, and I hope you have a crowd that comes in.
Me too.
Excellent. Well, and join us again for Living Well in Montana.